Hey ladies, happy bachelorette weekend. I hope you all are having a great time in Tahoe. I am assuming this must mean it's time for the question game. So I'm here with a list of questions about Rachel and about our relationship from Ellie and Marie. I will do my very best to answer honestly and accurately. And Rachel, I'm excited to get your review and the final score when you get back. We're going to start with question number one. What's one word that I would use to describe Rachel? I'm gonna be serious with this one. I'm gonna say affectionate. I think affectionate really does a great job of describing not only my experience with Rachel and our relationship, but also my observations of Rachel and her relationships and family and her just general approach to life. She is kind, she's thoughtful, she's attentive. When she loves very hard and with both feet in. And like I said, I see that every day in our relationship. But I also see that with her friends, with her sisters, with my family, and I love it. Affectionate. Okay, question number two. What is Rachel's best quality? For this one, I'm going to stay serious again and go with empathy. I think empathy is really what drives Rachel in her work. It's what she brings to our relationship. It's what she brings to all of her friendships in a lot of really serious ways. But yeah, I think empathy is also kind of the underlying quality and her approach to really all things. I've seen it even in first time meetings and conversations with people. Anybody will tell you that she is just genuinely interested and inquisitive. I think that comes from a place of her really just being able to put herself in someone else's shoes and really feel the things that they're feeling and see the perspective that they have. But then it's also, manifests in not as serious ways, like crying at every dog food or pharmaceutical commercial or just emotionally wrecking after reading a novel. I think it just underlies all things, and it's one of my favorite things about her. Question number three is, what does Rachel love most about me? This one's easy. I think it's probably either my hilarious and really accurate foreign accents or my cooking. If it's not one of those two, I think she also appreciates, hopefully, me just being able to be at times a consistent and steady space and partner for her when we need it. Question four is, what is something I do that annoys Rachel the most? It took me a long time to come up with something here, and I'm still not even sure I have a great one. But I think it's probably when I hover over her shoulder as she's cooking dinner. I think something about that makes her feel judged in ways or a little bit micromanaged, and I'm sorry about that, but there's nothing I can do. Okay, number five is, what does Rachel do that annoys me the most? I think it's when I'm not looking and she scurries over to the thermostat and cranks it down to 67, 68, well below our agreed upon level. Okay, number six, who's Rachel's hall pass? I hope you have some time. Let's see. Christian Bale, that guy Barry from Saltburn, apparently, and as of recently, Barack Obama. And there's probably some others I'm missing. Question number 6, who said I love you first and how? Rachel did. Rachel said I love you first late one night in my first apartment here in Phoenix. We were talking about our relationship and the future, all those good things. And yeah, she said I love you first. Question number 9, one thing of Trevor's that Rachel would want to throw away the most. For this one, seems easy. I'm going to go with my 5-finger toe shoes. These I've had since high school. These have been with me through a number of phases. I used to actually wear these to class. I used to run in these. Yeah, they got me through an interesting phase. Can't say I've worn them in a long time, but there's certainly no way I'm getting rid of these. These have not seen a lot of love from Rachel, and I think given the chance, this might be what she would toss. Question number 10, most unique place that we've had sex. For this one, I'm gonna say either on the boat late at night, or in the back of Rachel's Jeep in some neighborhood in San Diego at 8 or 9 a.m. Question number 11, where have I seen Rachel the most drunk? This one is going to be a throwback to Maddie Frazier's birthday bash in Vegas, 2021, I believe, when it was peak COVID and we had the suite in the Caesar Palace. And yeah, Rachel and I turned in early that night. I remember watching, I think, George Lopez on Nick at Night or something while Rach slumbered. And that's all I'll say. And I'm not sharing any photos. Question number 12 is, what was my first impression of Rachel? I'm not sure, Rach, if you're giving an answer from Ames, which was probably marketing class, or Patty's, but I am going to talk about my first impression after we moved down here to Arizona. I remember after spending some time with Rachel, being very excited and anxious to spend more time with her. She was beautiful. She struck me as someone who was looking forward to making the most of her time in Arizona and of the few years after college. She was someone I felt would push me to try new things, to see new places. She at least seemed like someone who would be a really great friend, someone who would keep me active, someone who I could enjoy new hobbies together. But I think in the back of my mind, I always wondered if that could turn into something more. And so yeah, anyway, now we're getting married. Question 13, when did I know that I wanted to marry Rachel? I knew I wanted to marry Rachel pretty early on. I would say at the very least, I knew that I could see Rachel as a life partner from really the very beginning. The more we got to know each other, the more I saw just how aligned our views on marriage and family really were. I'd say the first time that I probably articulated that I was going to or wanted to marry Rachel was actually at a wedding that we went to together in July of 2020, which, if you're doing the math, was not very long after we had started dating, but was having a good convo with a high school friend of mine, and remember very clearly telling him that I was planning on marrying her, and yeah, here we are.